Welcome back. This is time to go over to Double A, and we're going to start right off with one of my favorite teams. That's the Fitzgerald Purple Hurricane.
I believe it's going to be a Category 5 on Friday night. They take on
Well, I'm going
the
to tell you
Swainsboro.
something. I've been watching the sports event and listening to people talk, and they've been talking some trash. Swainsboro folks been talking some trash.
Well, I hope that Coach Pruitt has been posting that on the bulletin board in the locker room.
Have you been reading it?
I've heard bits and pieces. I don't take in as much on the AA board as I do on some of the higher classifications.
I think it all started off when somebody on there said something about them sending some bad video down. And you know the trash talking started from there.
Well, if anybody has the right to pound their chest this year, it has to be Fitzgerald. They have just really rolled through every competition that they've had. Their toughest ball game probably had to be 2 weeks ago when they took on Thomasville, an arch rival in the region, and they won that game rather handily. Greene County, who was coached, if I'm not mistaken, by our buddy Charles Winslet, came to town, and they dispatched him with extreme presidents. So, you know, Swainsboro, not a slouch of a ball club. They've only lost one ball game all year. That was to Jefferson County, and we'll talk about them in just a few minutes. But I don't think they match up well enough to stop all of the
They did
weapons.
beat Dublin, so they beaten some McIntosh County Academy. They beat them. Not a bad team.
McIntosh County Academy may not be the best indicator. MCA is a good AA ball team, but they were the 3 seed out of Region 2. Then you look at Dublin, who is actually a 3 seed this year as well.
Well, I've told you time and time again this year that to me, Fitzgerald is one of the best teams I've seen. And
I'd like to watch
they're-
them and Lowndes play for a half.
I would too. They're well rounded. They're balanced. They've got a good running game. They got a great passing game now with connection between Caleb Nobles and Trenton Pruitt. I was just impressed with them.
Man, and I'm going to tell you what, y'all might as well go on and get 2 guys to stick with that 4 kid, because it's going to be a while.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. That kid can do it all.
He can. Now, he's got a pretty good supporting cast with the Stewart kid,
Nick Williams.
Nick Williams, and what's the other young man? Is it John Stewart something?
And the Reed kid at receiving.
Well, and Latravius Stewart's been a great receiver and a running back in relief. So, I mean, they've got weapons, and they do it on defense also.
That's why I was fixing to say, let's don't discount the defense either, because they've had 4 shutouts this year. There's only the most any team has scored was Greene County this past week, and that was against the
8th graders.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, well, and you know, Coach Pruitt's going to have his kids ready. I've been impressed with the Hurricanes, and I expect there to be a category.
As long as they don't get down
Hurricane.
mentally, I see an easy win, to be honest with you. If they're prepared for this game, they will beat them. If they're not, if they get down, it could go either way. But I expect Fitzgerald to win that game.
Well, let's talk about a team I would love to see be victorious this week. And not just because they're our neighbors to the south, Dale, but
They've
because
dedicated this season to Roy White III, and that stuck with me earlier this year when it happened, and that was a rallying point for the community, and I think that's a rallying point now for the Cook Hornets, because that kid was special.
especially, you know, a new coach comes in. Coach Mac Thompson's got his kids fired up. They're running a spread offense or multiple eye, whatever you wish to call it. They come in and have that tragedy, and they've been able to overcome all of that. As a 4 seed, they take on a Northeast Macon team that was expected to beat the brakes off them, and they beat them by 2 touchdowns. You know, if I'm Appleton County, I'm going, Lord, why did we have to get in the way of this train? Appleton County is going to put up a fight. I'll go on and tell you that. They have been a quality ball club. I got to watch Appleton and Wayne County play early in the season. They've got some weapons. I don't know about injuries, but You know, these two teams face off right regular, both in baseball and in football. So they know each other, and I'm sure there's no love lost between the two. But if anybody could win in an upset, I'd take Cook.
Well, Coach Mayo Tucker, he told me to never bet from the heart. So I'm going to take his advice here. I'm pulling for Cook, but I don't see them beating Appleton County. Do you?
I do.
Okay. So we at odds on that one. I'm gonna go
And
with Appleton.
the only reason I say that is because Appleton County runs the football.
Well, I see where Cook could beat them, but I don't.
Appleton County runs the football, and if Cook can stop the run and make them predictable, Cook wins that ball game. Moving across to another Region 1 AA opponent, that's Thomasville and the Bulldogs. They take on Jefferson County. And while I like Coach Richie March, their streak ends on Friday. Jefferson County, I think one name has to stick with everybody in that team, and unless somehow you can contain him, lock him up, and put him in a box, B.J. Bostic's going to get loose. And
well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going against you on this one. I think Thomasville is going to come out and win this game. I really do. They got a pretty doggone good defense, and I understand. Now their quarterback might still be hurt. Have you heard that?
I had heard bits and pieces, but I don't.
They got a backup that's just as good, maybe even better.
Are you talking about for Thomasville?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Actually, I in all honesty, I think the injuries to the starter were just enough cause to get him out of the way and let this kid that's under center now take control, and he's done that.
Well, I think 2 weeks ago was a wake-up call for Thomasville. I think they rallied back last week. They got their heads together and their hearts in the right place now. They're going to go out, and I think they're going to be victorious against an undefeated Jefferson County team.
And I will tell you this too. After watching Thomasville play last week against Henry County, they struggled until they brought that other kid in.
Right.
And he could be the difference. B.J. Bostic may be the difference as well. So, as we move over, Coach Freeman, he's got a date with Destiny and Rich McQuarters.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. Charlton County ain't got the best defense in the world, but they get the job done when they need to.
They're going to have to get it done on Friday night because Coach Freeman is going to run the football at them quite regular.
Well, if they run it, I think they can hang with them. I think the teams that's giving them the most trouble are the passing team. And they're undefeated. They have been tied. But Rich McQuarter, to me, I've said it time and time again, he's one of my favorite coaches, and I think he's one of the best coaches in the state because he does something that's so important. He can determine, based on the first half, the changes he needs to make. He goes in at halftime, he makes those changes, and he comes back out and usually whips the other team.
Well, and while I really, really respect Coach McQuarters, I think a lot of that is a credit to his staff and the people he puts around him and the changes that they make.
Well, they got a program down there, those guys, and it's one of the smaller AA schools in the state, and they're going down.
In fact, they dropped the single A, and I'm sure that strikes terror into the hearts of every single A team. And
so who are you picking here? I'm going with Charlton, Shine.
I think Brooks is a year away. I'm going with Charlton as well.
Okay.
Coach Freeman has got a quality program as well, but they're just not there. They're not the Brooks team that we saw play Calhoun last year.
Now, did we jump and go ahead again, or?
No, I think we probably ought to pay some quick bills and go hit single A, right?